Hello everyone, TAC1421 here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG online gameplay commentary. Today we're going to be playing a Camerupt deck. And I just came up with this deck a few weeks ago and I've been playing it a lot recently. And it's actually really fun. It's a great budget deck, so if you are looking for kind of a budget deck to build, it doesn't really cost that much to build. All you really need is Camerupt EX and some Team Magma Camrupts, and we'll get into how this deck kind of synergizes and all that. But a little bit of background story on Camerupt EX. It came out in Primal Clash, and there's a lot of cool cards that came out in Primal Clash, and there's kind of a lot of like secret wonders that came from that set that people look back on that didn't think that was that great of cards. And now, since other cards have emerged from different sets, and there's more synergy between different cards here and there, it's actually seen as there's a lot of cards that are seen as pretty good now in the format. This Camerupt EX I think is still kind of flying under the radar. There was a new set that came out that is Double Crisis, and when Double Crisis came out, it had all these Team Aqua, and Team Magma cards, and one of them was Team Magma's Numel and Team Magma's Camerupt. And when that card came out, I saw a kind of a synergy between Camerupt EX and these Numel cards and these Team Magma's Camerupt cards. So it's kind of cool that both the Team Magma's Camerupt and the Camerupt EX synergize really well with one another. It's kind of funny that they're the same Pokemon in a sense. So I think that was kind of cool. You see my opponent is playing a Kyurem EX deck, and you don't often see that card played very often. So I think that's kind of cool that my opponent's trying to play that. And luckily enough, we did manage to get a supporter there. I did not have the best start in this game. We kind of we're drawing a lot of cards, but we're not getting the cards we need. I need to get those Team Magma's Camrupts on the bench ready to go. I also need to start getting my Camerupt EXs powered up, and it takes a lot to power up these Camerupt EXs, and let's go ahead and get into the synergy of these cards. The Camerupt EX has two different attacks, the best attack being the second one, which is Explosive Jet. Kind of a cool little name. I love when Pokemon have these clever little names for their attacks. I think obviously X-Ball on Mewtwo is a cool little attack, but Explosive Jet is pretty cool, pretty fun little attack. And essentially what you have to do is it's for 2 fire energy and 2 colorless, so you can actually attach a double colorless energy and then just 2 fire energy. You can also get it powered up in 1 turn if you do have the Blacksmith, but it's pretty rare to do that. You see it occasionally, get it powered up in 1 turn, but normally it takes at least 2 or 3 turns to power up this card, which is why getting off to kind of a rough start with this deck is not good at all for us, but we are going to kind of stick with it. My opponent doesn't really have too powerful of cards. They do have kind of the weakness advantage in their favor, but we'll try our best, obviously, to get something going in our favor this game. So what you want to do for the Explosive Jet, it has obviously those 4 energy you need to power it up. Once you get those 4 energy on there, it is definitely a great, powerful Pokemon to play. What it does is you can discard fire energy from your board, wherever it is. You can discard it from your Camerupt EX. You can also discard it from other Pokemon in play that you have on your bench, which is kind of cool. And every fire energy you discard, it does 50 damage. So you're thinking to yourself, well, if you have to put 4 energy on there and you discard 2 of them, and if you're playing double colorless energy, then you're only really doing 100 damage if you're discarding those 2 fire energy. But that's where Team Magma's Camerupt comes into play. And what Team Magma's Camerupt does is once per turn, you can take a fire or a fighting energy from your discard pile and attach it to Team Magma's Camerupt. And also Camerupt EX, obviously you can discard fire energy from your bench to do the attack. So if you get these Team Magma's Camrupts in play, and you just an endless cycle where you're discarding Team Magma's Camrupt's fire energy from your benched Team Magma's Camerupt, and then you can do a good amount of damage. Normally you want to get at least 2 of these in play. I finally got 1 in play, and you see that Burning Draft, I believe is the name of the ability, and we put a energy right onto our Team Magma's Camerupt from the discard pile. I also use the use the blacksmith to get a good amount of energy onto our Camerupt EX, and then we're going to get another Numel into play, and we're really good to go. You can see how much damage we're going to do in a second here. We are going to retreat the Mewtwo, who did its job, did a good job early on. I do play only one Mewtwo EX. I can see the argument for playing more. I since have dropped the Shaman EX. I don't really think you need Shaman in this deck, and it kind of takes up some bench spots that you don't really need it there. Typically, you're going to use a full bench. You're going to have at least 2 Camrupts in play. You're going to have 2 Camerupt EXs in play, and then you might have a Mewtwo EX. You might have another Camerupt EX, etc. So we only really need, thanks to our opponent playing that Rainbow Energy, we only need 170 damage. We have the Muscle Band, so we're going to discard 2 Fire Energy from our active Camerupt EX, and then we're going to discard the Fire Energy from one of our Team Magma's Camerupt, and then hopefully get a Fire Energy next turn and start going from there. So you can see this endless loop. It definitely works really well. Once you get that explosive jet out, and you're going to be doing a lot of damage. Team Magma's Camerupt also has a pretty cool attack that you can use occasionally. Sometimes if you have these like safeguard Pokemon, you might be forced to use Team Magma's Camrupt's attack, and it can also help you dish out a good amount of damage. I think it only does 60 damage, but you can help. It could when you do that damage, you put 1 Fire Energy from your active Camerupt EX, from your active Team Magma's Camerupt, and then you can put it. You can bring. What am I trying to say? You can bring one of the Fire Energy from your Team Magma's Camerupt and put it somewhere on your bench, so it can help. There's so many Camrupts in play, it can help you power up a Camerupt EX if you really need to. Right there, we get pretty much everything we need. I was pretty lucky, but here we can discard the 2 Fire Energy from our Team Magma's Camerupt and get the knockout. So things are looking pretty good. We only need 1 more prize card. Our opponent has a Vulpix and a Pikachu in play, and they have no hand essentially, so they are going to draw 1 card, and if it's kind of dud, then we do win this game, and we have a pretty nice little comeback. Our Camerupt EX on the bench there survived barely, and also our Mewtwo took a good amount of damage too. So we kind of got a little bit lucky. We did not have a great start on this one, but if you play this deck, I definitely recommend putting in a lot of supporter cards and a lot of Versus Seekers, because you have a good amount of draw too, thanks to your stadium. I forget the name of it, but what you can do is you can discard a Fire Energy from your hand. You draw 2 cards. You can do that once per turn, and it just helps you. You can get some Fire Energy in the discard pile for Team Magma's Camerupt to start going there. So we are going to try to do as much damage as possible here. I think the most damage I've done with an explosive jet to this point, I think, was 450 damage, and that's basically 9 energy that I'm discarding. Right here, I only did 300, but we do get the victory, so I do hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. This is a great budget deck to play. Go ahead and try it for yourself, and I will have more gameplays with Camerupt in the future, because I really do enjoy playing this deck, and I'm going to record more gameplays with it. So you see there, we dealt 770 damage, which is pretty common for this deck to deal, and we played a lot of energy cards, a lot of trainer cards, and took those 6 prizes, which is always fun. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see everyone next time. Peace.